What if I told you that the truth of this paradise you wish to have more access to is just wanting a key to a larger cage? What if I told you that the real key to freedom is to be formless? Now, I'm not subscribing to the idea that this is a physical ability that we have in this life. But then again, would it be 100% wrong if I told you that I am? In the process of understanding the concept of being formless and detaching from the things that leave you feeling stuck in one reality are actually the prerequisite to the freedom and the liberation of becoming whatever it is you want. When you find yourself stuck in the system, stuck in the story, stuck in the matrix of whatever cards you feel like you were dealt, we're programmed to call outward, to seek answers, to use the government to assist, the higher power to come and save, all things that keep you blind from the power that dwells within. And in my opinion, when we choose to acknowledge a Father in heaven, it means to come into agreement that inside of us is an intelligence from someplace outside of this world, that the truth of who we are is not the shell, but the entity that occupies the shell. And when we understand our spirit as the true form, one can never truly hold on to the ideas of being stuck. In order to get unstuck, we have to find practical tools to get us there. And in this video, I will describe ways that I have stripped myself from the glue that have kept me in a paradigm that no longer resonates with me and my higher self, in hopes that what I share today will be of service to you. Welcome to the Raw and a Half podcast, where we get real and then some. I am your host, Jasmin.siri, and every week I will discuss topics that align with reprogramming the subconscious mind. I share my experience and discuss how I navigate life consciously so we can reach higher heights and deeper dimensions of the mind to reach our goals from a healed and open place together. So, let's get started. So, I know that was a lot, but let's get back inside of our bodies and put our feet to the ground and think about ways that being unstuck shows up in our everyday life. A digestible way I could give an example of what could define ourselves as being stuck or feeling stuck is the way we hold on to a specific narrative of who we are, the emotions behind it, and physical sensations that arise when it all happens. Unfortunately for me, I loved existing in happiness, but the pain and sadness and anger were the feelings and sensations that lingered most in my mind because of the potency of these fleeting physical sensations. It was almost like I was addicted to feeling these emotions and remembering these things in an act to feel alive. As much as I thought that most undesirable outcomes seemed to follow me wherever I went, the truth of it all was that of course it would follow me if I'm carrying it in my heart and in my mind. This is the baggage. This is the bondage that keeps us trapped inside of the storyline we were given instead of acting as a creator with the freedom that we have to create a life that we choose. This was the type of mindset that weighed me down and the mental constructs that kept me stuck in an undesirable outcome, kept me in a matrix of conforming to the same old basic tale. But if I choose not to put on the physical sensations of emotional pain, guilt, embarrassment as a uniform for life, but as a small grain of sand on the beach to the human experience, I can let it go as easily as it comes and exist in the flexibility of what I truly am and pack light, so that I am not a slave to every person I encounter or every memory that comes to my mind. A part of getting unstuck is realizing that you hold the glue. You are exactly who you say you are. The vibration of our voice has the power and ability to speak life and death. And when we forget that ability because of the distractions of our culture and trending ideologies, especially as a young adult, we set ourselves up to lose before we even begin. And that's what's scary. Because this world is making it so cool to be a walking zombie, I fear what future worlds we will make as a consequence to that. But I'm curious, what do you say that you are? I mean, in the moment. Because it was challenging for me when I thought about it. Just recently, I was going to different events where I had the opportunity to introduce myself. And I realized that until I was asked, I never really quite thought of how I would introduce myself or what I would label this as. Especially when you can become or be so many things. One day I'm a bar instructor. The next day I'm a waitress. All the time I'm a healer, a writer, actress, a podcast host. I spend majority of my time as a YouTuber editing for hours. But none of those things truly define me. The hardest part about being a multidisciplinary artist is that, in a way, committing to one thing when you could be so many things feels like an awkward silence. It feels like you're committing adultery in your relationship. You are so many things and you are in communion with so many different parts of you. And when you are absent to one to be with another, it feels like you're always missing something. So, what's the difference between being stuck and being fully present? So if you're anything like me, and you're constantly pivoting from one thing to another, or so I was, like a GTA character, if you start to pivot for so long, you realize you aren't going anywhere. Nothing gets to experience your full presence. Everywhere you land in your physical body, your brain and your heart is somewhere else. And I believe what changed for me was my ability to stay present in a specific medium long enough to allow it to take me on a journey. Each journey gave me a key to use at my next destination, whether they were coinciding with each other or completely opposite. This key was not only to unlock more doors to my destiny, but it allowed me to unlock and grow parts within myself that I was never able to before because of how fast I turned to different things when I got bored, when I felt the restriction of staying in one specific thing, when I thought that actually developing a craft long enough to build me as a person was a bondage. I think when you're present in your heart and mind, you are open for growth and newness. You can be at a certain place for a period of time, but if you have grown and changed in that environment, you were never stuck. And you can acknowledge you're stuck if everywhere you turn, you're getting the same outcome. For example, you can choose to hop from one relationship to another, assuming yourself liberated from that experience. But if in every relationship you experience the same outcome, you may still be stuck in a cage. And I think everywhere we are, we have the ability to ascend and to learn something. We stay stuck when we assume that there's nothing else to learn. A couple of days ago, I thought a lot about Jesus being a carpenter and having an early life of having a craft and working this job. And I just have these feelings of maybe being at a job and feeling like I can't wait for my Father to take me someplace else. I can't wait for my Father to actually let me work for him like I've been raised to do. And then upon working that job, it brought so much pain and strife and confusion sometimes and just challenge. But it was all of those tools from the life before that kind of prepared him for that awakening, for his ability to be eventually formless and able to reach the hearts and minds of everyone. A part of that scares me, and then a part of that really awakens me, that I'm so much more than this. So if I could just have a piece of that awareness in my mind every time I try to do something, every time something gets hard, every time I am afraid of my capabilities or messing up. I remember what I originally was before I came here and the boundless opportunities that I had at my disposal because I didn't have form. And as much as that seems very far out there, there's a part of that that's comforting, that everything is within reach. Even the physical things that I think are too far away are only a mental block, that I could take myself there if I really think myself through it. I don't know. This sounds like a lot. But honestly, getting unstuck, realizing that you are the one, you are your savior, you are this divine thing that will take you from one place to another, like you are the vehicle that will take you. It's so liberating, and I want everyone to experience that. I remember when I was being told in a way that I was supposed to be writing or I was supposed to be using my voice, I had to be taken to a place that showed me how big my God was, right? I vividly remember being mentally taken to a place where God showed me how huge he was. And after experiencing something like that, something so vast, there's really nothing that stands in your way anymore. Yes, there can be things in your journey and in your path from your human life, right, that hurt you, that disappoint you, that put you in stages of fear, because that's normal. That's why we have bodies. Our bodies send off signals to protect ourselves. But when I realized who I had supporting me and who I was working for and all of the things that are in its power, I truly wanted to mimic that. And what I did, nothing was outside of my reach. There was no topic that I couldn't discuss. There was nothing that I shouldn't say. There wasn't a depth that I felt like was too much. And it just gave me this freedom and permission to release myself from all of the things that bound me, all of the things that were the past version of myself that were ordinary. If I wanted to step into this next stage of my life, it required an extraordinary version of myself. And in order for God to inspire me, he had to show me how extraordinary he was. And after that, my life completely changed. And when you experience an encounter with a divine, you're completely different. Your entire life potentially could be shaped around that one experience alone. And if you're serious enough, it'll change your whole life. And it has completely changed mine, which is why I honor this, creating this, being this version of myself so much. I take this so seriously because I've always wanted to live in purpose. And if this is my opportunity to do that, to share and help others, I'm going to do that. Sorry, that was a lot. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing and sharing things that make this platform so intimate and so special. I read every comment. I resonate with so many of you guys' experiences, and it does nothing but give me the reassurance that God can't really necessarily give me in the physical. He gives it to me through you. And I just feel so thankful and grateful to have you guys in my life. If you are interested in getting deeper into your creativity or trying to find your purpose, I would love to be on that journey with you. I'd love to be in your corner. I'd love to be on your team, which is why I opened up my schedule for one-on-one appointments. If you are interested in social media strategy or ways that you can amplify your voice, let me know. I'd love to help you. If you are just interested in wanting to do something that is in purpose, but that honestly resonates with who you are, who you are trying to be, the best version of yourself. I talk about that as well. It's a very important thing. It's something that changed my entire life, and I'd love to bring that into yours so that you get closer to your manifestations. That means absolutely so much for me. I've been graciously granted with an opportunity to do that, and I am ready, and I'm really excited about it. The link is in the description below. I cannot wait to see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.